And I don't know if I can keep it going because the Wi-Fi doesn't like to reach out here, and then we're in an area where the internet isn't that great. So I'm gonna try one more time, but I can't promise anything. I think it would be interesting to see which plants survived. That I can tell right now, or a lot of them are still asleep, and so, or dormant, and so there's no way to tell if they've come back or not. But there are some that we can definitely tell, and for example, this one. This is a dwarf Alberta spruce that I really enjoyed. It was so cute next to this, and it just didn't make it. So eventually we'll pull that up. Right now the ground is still frozen, so we're not going to be able to deal with that right now. And then we did have a little boo-boo with this green arrow. I believe it's a cypress. We had a really, really windy day that took this and hooked it onto this hook and broke it. And I'm not 100% sure if this was a branch that just broke off or if it bent it or what, but that doesn't look very good. And so this right here is a hibiscus. It is brown and none of this is going to come back. So as soon as I get a chance, I'll cut this one all the way down to the ground because it's not like you can prune these and then it'll get more full. If you do so, it's just this is completely dead. I can break these, no problem. But the reason why we leave them like this is so that we can see where the plant is and we don't step on it ever. And the reason why I'm okay cutting it now is that we don't really walk in that area, so it'll be okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go into the place where the stream cut. Oh, actually, one of the things that I want to show you is the Anna's Magic Ball. It's like this beautiful round tuya, but the snow really clobbered it, and it actually looks way better than it did the other day. But there it is. It's supposed to be perfectly round. You can see that that part looks like it's damaged, and I guess it doesn't look as bad as it could, but it was completely flattened by the snow, and I'll do a video about that as well. You're gonna see my shadow, but this is all broken. But it seems to come back fine every year. I mean, I'm really like impressed by this plant. The Anna's Magic Ball. And it was like, I'd say, bowling ball size when we bought it. I love it. It's cute. I love round plants in the garden. A little bit of like structure. Speaking of roundish plants, this is a boxwood, and you can see it has a lot of winter burn, but I'm going to be trimming it so that the green leaves that are underneath can shine. But it's still pretty cute. And then we have another round structural plant that looks, I don't even know what shape this is, but it doesn't look too great. It's another type of puya. I don't think it's an Anna's Magic Ball. And I don't think I have the tag anymore to tell you what it is, but it's similar for sure. It's just not round. But hopefully it will round out just like the Anna's Magic Ball did. Okay. A wisteria. Anyway, so chain of flowers. So the flowers, so this is another hydrangea. Do we have a name? Oh, Astilbe. No, that doesn't go here. It didn't make it. But this hydrangea, it's alive. That's how you can tell if your plant is alive. You can just do a little scratch test. But obviously still dormant. This is, I believe it's called End of the Rainbow dwarf Alberta spruce. So when it starts, it has some winter burn obviously here, but once it starts like growing new leaves, actually it's already starting. They're very yellow. So the tips are very bright, like chartreuse, I should say. And then I did do a video on pulling up this sedge that I had planted here. But I have a really hard time just getting rid of plants, and so I left some little like seedlings, I guess. And this is it. It's coming back. But it was, this whole area was full of it, and it really does spread. So, oh my gosh, there's so much work. Look at all this grass. So much. Okay, I'm not going to do that right now. There's another fallen tree branch. We had a really big winter storm and actually a tornado in the southwest part of Michigan that was fatal, which is really tragic. I'm so sorry for those families. Like just so much damage, and it was a little bit scary because we thought it was going to come here too. But the storm kind of dissipated, I'd say, by the time it got here. So one of the first things that I do when I garden at the beginning of the new growing season is just start with picking up the sticks, because of all the trees shedding throughout the winter and the fall and the early spring. They're just like everywhere. And you can't mow the lawn or anything with all these sticks, so that's how I start. Let's see how the plants over here are doing. We have, I don't know if I can walk over there, it might cut out, but we have 3 trees that we planted. One's a Hudsonii, and here it is. I'm trying not to get the neighbors' houses. It's full and seems to be mostly happy. I don't see any little pine cones, but I had tons last year. This is the cocktail tree. It is peach and apricot. Used to have plum and nectarine, but those didn't make it. These are, I think, peach. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe apricot buds. The apricot will bud first and flower, and it will be pink, I think. And then the peaches will white. Black Tower Elder all the way up to the sky. That is definitely double. And as for buds, this is where they're going to come from. They're like the darkest part of the branch, but you could take it all the way down to above the lowest branch. This didn't make it. And it will get thicker for you and bounce back. One of the coolest plants that I have is this ornamental hazelnut. It's the red dragon. Look how cool this is. It's just knots and knots and knots of branches, and those are the buds, the leaf buds. It's just like the coolest thing. It's wiggly and squiggly and curled and swirled and just so cool. And then it has little catkins. Oh, here we go. The cutest thing ever, if I can focus on it. I love it. I can't believe how big it is. It's probably like 6x6 or 8x8, like ball. Several years ago, I think 5, I asked a bunch of friends to go in with me on getting some Eastern redbuds. And what we got, it was like 10 for $100 or something like that. And all we got was like a little stick with some little roots at the bottom. This is that stick. I mean, look. I'd say it worked. It's an eastern redbud, so the flowers come from the branches rather than from like little stems and flowers. Sorry, my nails are so gross because I'm like digging. But so you'll get like little flowers coming from here or like from the armpits and things like that. So it's so cool, and I'm so glad I did that. I just like cannot believe how huge it is. It's a legit tree. Success. This is Raspberry Lane. This is Raspberry Lane. It's a disaster. There's like raspberries just growing haphazardly everywhere. Never try to contain raspberries. They're just gonna go wherever they want. But I have an agres gooseberry right here, and neither of them survived. But we had them for a good handful of years. So I'm really sad to see them go, but we started to travel and had a hard time maintaining the garden. This area, Valen did that. There's a bunch of hostas right there and ferns. And it is so cool when it's filled in, but as you can see, everything is still dormant. But each hosta is like 3x3 or 4x4. And then this is also the area where we tried to grow a palm tree in a zone 6. A windmill palm, to be exact. Fallon got it for me for Christmas. And I couldn't even tell you where it was because it didn't make it. Surprise, surprise. This is a rhododendron that Valen rescued from the trash. Midwinter, we thought, okay, there's no way it's coming back, but we have a branch. And so I keep saying it, but maybe this year I'll actually do it. I'll cut off all the dead branches and then let this thrive. But I don't think we're going to get any flowers this year because the flower buds usually by this time are ready to go. And these are too tiny. So we're not going to get flowers. But that's okay. It's still alive and I'm happy with that. This is our boxwood. You may have seen a video, you may not have, of me planting this. It was like one of the first videos I ever did, and it was like definitely more artistic than informational, but not doing good, not doing good. But it is winter, so it could just be winter burn and they might still come back. Wish them luck. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't see anything else that's worth mentioning at the moment, but definitely if you like plants, subscribe to the channel if you want, and let me know what kind of videos you would like. I'm posting more about health and wellness because that's my, like, what I'm into right now, and travel, and plants, of course. So if you like those things, check out our videos, our other videos, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to everyone who said hi, and we'll see you again. Bye. Also, I don't know how to turn this off.